thought it was time to come out. I don't mean like that, I mean it's a lovely day. And it's stupid being stuck in the house, even though I was doing stuff earlier. It's a good idea to get out. Go for a bit of a drive, park up somewhere. Test my camera and the newest lens I bought. See what that's like. Love days like this. It's not stupidly hot. It's certainly not cold, it's lovely. Being able to drive with the window open. Those kind of days, you know what I mean, don't you? Everyone seems to have a little bit of a spring in the step, they seem a bit happier. I was going to say there's something unique about Southport. There isn't. It's an absolute lie. There's something about British towns, cities. They look and feel different during the summer or when it's sunny. So now we're only just into spring, aren't we? Liverpool's a great example of that. It feels incredible during the summer. There's a vibe, a real relaxed vibe to Liverpool. Southport's got the same, but it's slightly different in that it's a seaside town. So it's got the seaside town kind of vibe about it. Although Liverpool's a massive city for tourists turning up, culture, loads of stuff about the Beatles and the cathedrals and things like that, so you're used to seeing loads of people from around the world, but it doesn't have the same kind of vibe as a seaside town does. Maybe it's the fact that there's more foreigners going to the city than there is locals going to a seaside town. Does that make any sense whatsoever? Definitely gives it a completely different vibe, but it's lovely. Hopefully you managed to get hold of some decent... What the hell's going on here? The lights broke. They must be. Temporary traffic lights are temporarily broke. The Wales gone mad, lad. Yeah, there's a relaxed vibe. People walk a bit slower and take in more of the environment around them, which I think is always a really good thing to do, to be honest. People don't do that enough. We're too busy wandering around in a daze, or looking at shop fronts, ignoring the beautiful buildings that these shops are within, and just looking at what the latest offers are. Take more time. Take your snapshot. Remember where you were. Remember the feeling. Remember the temperature. Remember the sounds, the sights, the smells. Really take it in. So when it's taken away from you, you'll miss it. And it's nice to be able to look back at things. I mean, even now, I've just been talking about Liverpool. I worked in Liverpool city centre until I was no longer well enough to do so. And then just walking down, say, Lord Street or somewhere, on my break from work, I always remember just the sound of loads of people, but the smell of fresh donuts. Because there was a little sort of van, kiosky van thing on Whitechapel, and that smell coming towards it, always remember it. It's so evocative, and that especially on a sunny day. Do more of that. Take more in. We're here. Starting to get slightly overcast, a bit hazy. Sun's gone in, which is a shame, but there's loads of people around. Very busy. Again, this goes back to the vibe I was talking about. Weather doesn't have to be perfect. people just like the way it is. They like the town, it's nice. Can we see Blackpool? We can see Blackpool, which means it's not too hazy. I'll have a mess around with my camera, I think, in a minute. With the newish, it's not a newer lens, it's a new lens. 7 Artisans 35mm, in case anyone's interested, a prime lens, which means it doesn't zoom mechanically. It's a set focal range. I'll try that in a minute. There's people on the beach, loads of kids around. Everyone has a smile on their face. Isn't that better? Is that not better? I was going to do an episode of The Reason, the Rhyme, but I can't think of anything. I thought of something the other night, I think, because it went when I was lying in bed. Do you know what? One of the weird things is, it's Saturday, 4 o'clock. A few weeks ago, I came here at the same time, on the same day, after I'd been buying records, and I got myself a parking ticket. And I'll tell you something, there wasn't that many people here. There was me parked here, and there was one other person parked just behind me there, and that was it. I mean, it wasn't great weather, it was a little bit cold, it started raining, it looked a bit miserable. I loved it, but it looked a bit miserable. What a difference a few weeks makes. And not getting a parking ticket, obviously, but it's completely different. Towns like this rely on tourists to really, I mean, obviously we all pay taxes and what have you, but you rely on tourists to take you that little bit further, give you the edge, make it a more prosperous town. And when the weather's not good, you don't get it. So instead of moaning about how it's too hot, I don't like it, think about the fact that the town's getting more prosperous as a result. We can afford to clean things up and fix things a bit more, maybe. And if you have a good summer and people get round the table, perhaps find the money to go and reopen the pier, fix that and get it reopened. That's the busiest I've seen Southport in a long time. That's sort of July, kind of busy. So I drove around on the prom trying to find somewhere to park. Couldn't. And by the time I'd come up with some kind of plan, I'd lost every last little bit of motivation. So heading back towards our part of town. See if I can find something on the way. Oh, I didn't bring my wallet, otherwise I'd have got my car cleaned. Do that tomorrow instead. Give me something to look forward to, right? Yeah, but absolutely chocker. And if I was any fitter, I could park a little bit further away from where I wanted to go and then just have a wander around, but I can't. Pity that. It's a lovely day for it. And I think that's noticeable today as well. I said earlier, there's plenty of kids around, and by that I mean little kids with the families, but there's also teens, loads of teens around who look pretty happy with the way things are. You know, like sort of 13, 14, 15 year olds are like, they're always miserable. You know, everyone looks happy. Good mixture of people. We have plenty of old folk, obviously, with a seaside town. It does get called God's waiting room occasionally, so you see plenty of them around, but there's a good mixture today, very diverse. I like that. Is this the comeback of the seaside town? Could it be? I doubt it. I'd like to be proven wrong now. We need these seaside towns. Again, as I'm driving past the George with the ripping down. Cultural heritage. We should be more thoughtful about our cultural heritage, no matter what it is. Whether it's pubs, seaside towns, anything like that. Protect them. You know it's a nice day when the cemetery looks nice. Bathed in that opaque and filtered sunshine which is coming through the cloud. Mother Nature is providing her own Instagram filters. So that's what it's like. Busy here today as well. Even coming out of town. Because it is the road out of town. If you're going towards the M6 or towards Ormskirk or something, you're coming this way. And Southport are playing at home. But they'll be in the game now, won't they? There'll still be 20 minutes, half an hour left. I feel a bit annoyed with myself now. So I had this idea, I wanted to go and see something. Whether it was have a wander on the beach, have a wander around town, do something. But lack of energy, lack of motivation, lack of car parking spaces, even with the blue badge. I'm just annoyed. Should have stuck with it. Should have got up earlier. But I needed my sleep. So exhausted this week. Ah, well, don't be hard on yourself, lad. You've had a grueler, as my granddad would say. A man from whom I learned many a life's lesson. I miss all that. Going to the social club where we used to drink and then just sitting with the owl fellas, my granddad and his mates, just chatting away. I learned a lot. The wisdom of old Scouse men. They can teach you a hell of a lot of things. And how to behave. Ah, right now. That's where it could have gone. Could have gone up Pooley Lane and on the outskirts of Southport instead. But no. Just head towards home. I'm sore. Sick of being sore. This should have been beach weather. Not to go and have a wander around. Just to go and stand or sit and breathe the air in. Contemplate life. Maybe next time, eh? Plus I'm hungry. I haven't eaten yet. Go and have a fat scran, lad. Tomorrow's going to be a better day. George Michael, lad. Gotta have faith to fight the fight there.